Right, we're on. Hi YouTube, and thanks very much for joining me. So, we've got our server built, we've got everything cabled in, as you may have seen in previous episodes. If not, then go and watch that. So, it is time now to start setting some host names. Now, I want host names on each of my routers, such as R1, R2, R3 and R4, respectfully. So it's easier to identify which router's which and what is going to be doing what. Now we also have the firewall as well, so we're going to have a little look at possibly renaming that, maybe. We will see. So let's move the camera over onto the server, as you can see, and we can start powering some gear on. And we'll then open up Terra terms. So let's get the thing powered on. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Awesome. Righto, so now that we've got that set, what we can now do is fire up Terra term. That should be easy enough for us to do. It's right here. Going to select serial because we're using serial connections. And we're going to want COM port 7. And we're going to full screen that so you can see exactly what is going on. Now it's going to take a while for these routers to boot up, so you'll just have to bear with me. Now is a good time to go and fetch a drink of choice. So I'll be back in a moment. Alright, so couple of bottles here. That's drink of choice. And we're waiting for our routers to boot. Usually takes maybe a minute or two for this. So yeah, it's started to boot. Here it all is. You should be able to see that. Nice and easy. So we're starting on router 1. So let's just give this a minute. And now might be a good time to crack open a cold one. Because why not? Okay, it's just loading up the image. We'll just give this a minute. Shouldn't take too long. Press return to get started. So all we're doing is just our host names for now. So we're going to want to enable, and once we do that we want configure terminal. Okay, so now that we've got that, we just want to say host name R1. So that's router 1. That's done. So we can exit and then type write. Let's build in the configuration. And then it's over to the server to move the patch panel. Well, move the patch cable. So follow me over there, just right quick, because I'm going to patch in now on number 5. So that's the second router up. And back over we go. Alright. Enable again. And then of course it's conf t, configure terminal, and enter And then host name, now I'm making it up as I go with my typing, hostname R2. Enter, exit. Oh God, my typing today is terrible, people. And then once again it's right, and that builds that configuration. So that's router number 2 of 4 done. Back over to the server again. You should be able to see that. If I can move the camera. Patch in on number 3. For router 3, which is number 6. 3, 6. And back over here. Alright. Enable. Configure terminal again. And just the usual host name and R3. Exit and write. So you just type WRITE, just in case my typing's a little bit fast for you. That's done, and now we can move back over to the server again. Let's get that camera angle sorted. Patch in on number 7. As I drop the patch cable on the floor, that's good. Back over to our terminal. And of course, enable again. It's just the same process as we've already done a few times. So, configure terminal or conf t. That's another way of doing it. And hostname R4. That's done that. Exit and write. There's just one left to look at, and that's the firewall. So back over to the server again, and then we can patch in for the last time. Like so. And then we can hit the firewall. That looks about right anyway, but I'd rather have it looking nicer for its name. So we'll just enable password. There's no password on it yet, but we will deal with that at some point. Configure terminal. Okay, ask later. And then we want host name, capital C for Cisco, and then ASA. Let's change that, because I want it to look a bit nicer, you see. And exit, followed by write. And that's it, pretty much done. That's it. So what we can do, maybe we should hit the switches as well, I think. So we'll go and do them. So we'll start with switch 1 at the bottom, and we'll power these 3 on. Let's do the switches as well now. Okay. What I'll need to do is patch in on number 1. Oh, I'm already patched in, that's good. So let's see how we go with this. It's just loading up now. just give that a minute. This is why you might want a drink of choice or a good smoke as well. As we see, it's all running. It's all good. Just waiting for this to boot. It will boot up. Right, there we go. Press return to get started. We've done that. Right. Would you like to enter the initial configuration? No. So we're going to call this switch 1. So enable, and then we're going to want to configure terminal. And then without hostname S1, exit, then right. Let's over to the server again. Patch in on number 2. And then back. No, we don't want to go into the initial configuration dialog. Enable. And then, as always, as we've done before, conf-t, hostname R2, exit, right, and back over to the server for the final time. As we patch in on number 3. There we go. And as always, no to that. Enable. Conf-t. Hostname. R3. No, sorry, S3. And that's got that. Oh dear, I've made a mistake. I've got to patch back into the server because I've called switch 2, I've called it router 2, which is genius. So we'll have to go back in and correct that. Over to the server once again. Patch in that. R2, yeah, it should be S2, shouldn't it? Called it a router when it's a switch. Genius. Enable. Configure terminal. Hostname S2. That sorted that problem. Exit and right. Okay, awesome. Now all we have to do is check it all. So for that we're going to patch in on 1, 2, 3 all the way up to 8 and just check it. So let's do that now. That's 1. S1 is good. Patch in on 2. Switch 2 is good. Patch in on 3. That should be S3. It is. Patch in on 4, that should be root of 1 or R1. It is. Patch in on 5, that should be root 2 or R2. It is. Patch in on 6, should be root 3 or R3. It is. Patch in on 7, should be the 4th router. It is. And then number 8 is our firewall, which it is. We're all good. We are all good. So that's done that. And that's pretty much it. So for now, I think what we'll do is just have a look at the server again and just power off. So we'll just start powering the gear down. And we are done. That's it for this video then. So hopefully you like that one. That's just configured our host names, so now it just makes it easier in terms of our CLI, our command line interface, to know exactly which switch, router and firewall we have and where it is in the rack. So perfect, we can now start to move on and do more stuff with the labs, and that pretty much is it, people. We are done. So thank you very much for watching this one, and as always I look forward to seeing you again soon, and for now, take care.